Today, we are going to explore one of the most complex topics which is coming out of spirituality and mysticism, that is the navigation of the karmas as you go about your life. So, to explain this concept, I'm going to take the help of this particular book, The Introduction to Tantra Shastra by Sir John Woodroffe. He is the author of one of the famous spiritual books, that is The Serpent Power, which talks about Kundalini Yoga and awakening of the Shakti and awakening of the cerebrospinal centers, the chakras, and all these things. So, because this particular topic is so deep, I don't want to give out any misinformation to anybody. So that is why I've taken the help of this book and all the knowledge which I have accumulated over the years about this particular topic. Okay, so let's go. So the Tantras classify human beings into three different categories. The first one is Pashu, second is Veera, third one is Divya. Pashu is a person who has no spiritual conception whatsoever, and his mind is heavily conditioned by the material realm, material universe, and he's going about fulfilling his materialistic desires and his sensual desires, and his desires are basically confined to the conditionings of the physical body. Okay, nothing wrong. This is one class of the human beings the Tantras classify as. The second category is the Veera. A Veera is a person who has certain level of spiritual conception and spiritual depth in his being, and he's trying to fight his animal nature. He's trying to fight his human tendencies and trying to evolve himself into a divine being. So Veera is a person who is heavily involved in the study of scriptures, who is heavily involved in trying to understand the nature of reality to the best of his abilities from different perspectives, whether it's scientific perspective or the perspective of the rishis, the yogis, and who is deeply involved in the spiritual practices, which are eventually going to transform him into a divine being, a Divya. Finally, a Divya. Divya is a being who has transcended the human condition, and he is in constant touch with the spiritual realities and the divine realms and the subtle realms of the existence, and who is helping other Veeras who are trying to evolve themselves to bring them also to his level. The intelligence and the spiritual energy of a being of caliber of Divya is very superior, and these are usually called as Siddha Purushas, okay, Siddhas. These people we generally find in, let's say, upper ranges of Himalayas and deep forests, hills, where they are doing intense amounts of austerity and who has transcended the human condition, and many other capabilities they will be having, like the occult powers, the siddhis, so many things which they will not be willing to show off in front of the world, but they know internally that they are powerful, and using their wisdom they navigate their power safely to guide other Veeras and other beings to evolve slowly, gradually on the spiritual path. So what is the use of this particular knowledge? So this particular knowledge is going to help you to assess different types of human beings and try to associate yourself with the right kind of human beings so that you also evolve into a stage of Veera and eventually transcend the stage of Veera too and try to become a divine being. This thing should not be taken as a negative way of judging human beings. It's not like that. It's just like assessing human beings, all right? Because your environment and the type of people you associate with is going to influence you a lot. And if your aim is to evolve spiritually and eventually reach the stage of Divya or transcended being, it becomes very important and it becomes very crucial to navigate your karmas through different type of human interactions you go about your life. Okay, now coming back to the main topic of this video. So how are karmas being generated? The karmas are being generated by your day-to-day actions and day-to-day interactions with other human beings, right? Whether it's positive or whether it's negative or somewhere in the middle. And finally, what kind of people are you going to associate yourself with? That is also going to determine your karmas. So this particular knowledge from the Tantra shastras is going to be a very helpful tool for you to navigate your karmas more safely, more intelligently, so that you reach a state of divya finally and transcend the normal human limitations.